Okay, we're back. Here's the deal. You should have not a puller, but a compressor that pushes down on this inner black part right there. Okay, and it's under a lot of pressure, and there's a clip right down in there. Hopefully you can see it. It's a retaining ring right there. Okay, that's under quite a bit of pressure. So I rednecked this thing up, and I went ahead and got a strap for framing, bent it to size, drilled a hole out of the center of it to fit right here on the steering wheel bolt, and then used the same bolt or nut that held down the steering wheel to press down on that, to push down on that, so that we relieve the tension so that I can get in and actually do what I got to do. Okay, so I mean, there's an actual puller made for all this if you want to go through all that crap, but for 10 minutes long I was able to relieve the pressure myself. Alright, so I'm going to shut this off for a second so I can have both hands and I'll come back to it. But you got to pull that out of there. Okay, with a pick, pretty sharp tip on it, and a very, very small regular screwdriver, after you compress that down, you can get in there and just work around the edge of that C-clip right there, and it'll pop up and just kind of hang on the outside there. And now I should be able to back this nut off and then pull this whole assembly out. Okay, now notice that this right here is in this groove when you pull this cover off, and then that little C-clip's right there. Just keep it on there so you don't lose it. Okay. Alright, and then right here, which goes on just like that, I suggest you record this stuff so you can kind of line everything up at the end, make sure you're right, but pretty much right in line with this screw right here, you know, in this area here. And it does matter, so pull that off. Okay, now we get into the nuts and bolts of this thing. It's your blinker assembly. See how it moves? Well, there's a screw behind there that's got to come out. There's a screw inside there that has to come out, and a screw right there. So there's 1, 2, and by moving this down, you can get to the third screw, which is right there. And then this blinker assembly will come out of here, kind of hang here for you, and then you can get access to this tumbler that's obviously right behind this. Alright, I took out those 3 screws, 1, 2, 3. They're all the same size, so you don't got to worry about that. And this is actually the pin that goes in the arm for the blinker. Way inside here, it kind of sets in a little cradle, but it goes here. So when you're putting it back together, you've got to make sure that it's the right way, pin side in, go in and hook it, and then it'll go in there, and when you work this blinker assembly and it's screwed in there, it'll toggle this back and forth to do your blinkers. Hope that's clear.